So the first couple bands coming through, Nunu, that's probably a target ban, although Nunu did get a buff with the Bomby Cinder changes. Senna coming through. Senna is a pretty powerful ADC. I'm not really too sure where she stands as support in tournament play, but she's always powerful. Tristana is an obvious target ban towards Buddy, who played in their last game, and kind of kicked off, and they won the game with that pick in mind. Red side, banning the Thresh, the Morgana, and the Ornn. Thresh and Morgana, very powerful support picks. They left open the Pike, which ended up getting picked anyway. It was Nautilus, and the Orianna, or the Ornn, just to take it away from, because both teams have been playing Ornn quite a bit in the top lane.
Yeah, Ornn being a highly contested pick amongst both top laners this game. And the final bans, Maokai and Yasuo.
Maokai obviously just coming through just because the Ornn is banned, so they might just pick up the Maokai in order to fill that kind of slot. And the Orianna is a pretty easy ban for them just because that's what Team Fail support has been picking all day today to mitigate some of the issues they had in their first game. The Shen and the Yasuo. The Yasuo is a weird ban unless they were planning on playing it in the bot lane, because I'm pretty sure Buddy doesn't really play that in the mid lane. It might have been top lane, not 100% sure, but the Shen is 100% coming through the top lane because that's what they played in the first game, just trying to get these teams off their comfort picks. And just going through the list of what everyone picked, bot lane for Team Fail support seems to be pretty powerful in the Jinx, which they've been drafting quite a bit, and Nautilus, which is a very highly contested hook champion because he has a lot of engage and he brings a lot of CC and lockdown. Into the Nami Lucian. The Nami Lucian has a little bit of prio in the early game, as they're a double ranged into a melee range, but we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to see how these matchups play. Jarvan top into Jax, though.
Jarvan top's a pretty interesting matchup. You don't really see too much of it anymore because he's definitely just a better jungler. But he's still going to bring the same thing that Jarvan jungle brings, which is a lot of lockdown in these late game team fights. And if you don't have a dash and you're stuck inside Jarvan ultimate without a flash, you're probably just dead, right? Like Team Fail support definitely didn't draft too much too many dashes. The Echo and the Jax zones that can probably consistently get out of the Jarvan ultimate. So if they decide to pull the trigger and they find a Jinx or a Veigar, they're probably dead. In terms of team fighting, I'm definitely favoring. Honestly, both teams have pretty mediocre team fight. I would favor Team Fail support just because it's a lot easier for them to pull that off, and the Jinx can carry late game.
Yeah, they've definitely got a lot more AoE. Coming from the side of the red team, they do have 280 carries again, so that is quite a kind of a gray area right now, because Lucian does Lucian things like, yeah, he's annoying in lane, he's a lane bully, but can't really extremely hard carry like something like an Aphelios or like a Kai'Sa. And then Ezreal still hasn't returned to his former glory, even after the slight buffs that he's been given the past few patches.
We've been seeing a little bit more Ezreal in competitive. I'm not too sure how that'll transfer into these kinds of games, but definitely a different showing from what we've seen in the last game that these two teams played against. When these two teams played, I'm definitely favoring Team Fail support just off the draft, just because they're playing a comp that's a lot simpler to execute with the Nautilus hook, and they don't have to kite as much. The Jarvan seems almost out of place, because when the Jarvan dives, unless he's full tank, and I'm assuming he's going to go full tank, maybe after Cleaver, he doesn't really have any survive in that team fight, and he's the only melee. How is he going to survive? Their CC is limited to Nami and Jarvan. That being said, they have a Karthus, and if they can get that deep, he can deal a lot of damage. But I just like the fact that Team Fail support's team is a lot easier to execute this game.
Yeah, they also have a lot more win conditions in comparison to the side of the red team. Like, red team has to do something in a team fight with that Jarvan Nami. And if they can't pull it off, they basically just have to retreat because they have no front line other than Jarvan. And if he goes in, like you said, he's going to get blown up. He has to deal with the Jax, he has to deal with the Veigar and the Nautilus, while Echo's looking to flank the back line, and Jinx is just sitting in the back behind her front line, just dealing tons of damage.
I'd be very happy if Team Fail support end up playing this game front to back, and if Team if Red Side, I don't, their name is Your Mom Big Plane, very good meme. But if they decide to play front to back, I'm pretty sure that Team Fail support just wins unless Big Plane has like a very big lead in this early game.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to take a look at how the jungle matchups affect the lanes, because one misstep from any lane could easily be taken into an advantage.
For sure, and these level 1s are getting underway. We're going to see where the junglers start, where the teams decide to go. It's kind of starting to look like Big Plane is just spreading out across for a 5-point, while Team Fail support's stacking their favorite tri-bush in the bot side, looking to see if anyone's willing to push in on them.
Yeah, and the bottom lane for Your Mom Big Plane is sitting in the river. If Nautilus can land one of those hooks, it could be a kill.
And we have a level 1 invade.
Oh,
hook on the Nami
missing.
just misses. That could have been a very good start, and we've seen it a couple times now from Team Fail supporters. We've followed them through their tournament journey, it seems.
Yeah, both games they've won, they got first blood. So we'll have to see if the trend continues.
Minions have spawned.
Minions are up and running down lane. Seems like pretty standard starts. Karthus starting blue and Echo starting red. Both seemingly looking to impact the top side, but I do favor the Echo versus the Echo into the Karthus.
Yeah, Echo definitely has a lot more gank potential. Karthus does have the Wall of Pain for that slow, but once you're out of that, the slow wears off and you can't really do much. Echo just sticks to you and you can't really get rid of him. So the quite a matchup to see how this jungle difference really happens.
That being said, if Karthus does make it to late game with a couple kills, he can be a very potent addition to any team fight. You have to be really careful that you don't go below half HP, because that Karthus ultimate's coming in.
Yeah, we see a little bit of trade coming out here in the top lane. Jax taking the better of the two.
Jax with that counter strike really just makes it pretty easy for him to trade level 1 into top laners who would like to just auto attack it out.
Yeah, we see the item difference here in top lane. Corrupting Pot for Jax versus Dolan Shield for Jarvan. And the level 2 advantage for the Jax goes in for a huge trade.
As seems to have biscuit delivery and that time warp tonic to keep him healthy, as well as the level up. So
yeah, that instant burst of HP and mana does make a huge difference. Hook coming in from the Nautilus, quite a big trade. Lucian going into melee range, losing that trade. Huge play for Team Fail support there.
So when Nautilus gets a hook and he has Aftershock, he's basically unkillable, especially with that. Oh, never mind. Here comes another hook. Flash is pulled. Both bot laners below Flash. Heal is blown by the Jinx to try to catch up to the Lucian. W comes down, sidestepped by the Lucian, and we're just going to walk back and go back to a farm lane here. Very close call.
Yeah, that was an extremely close play. The hook goes in by Quantum,
We're going,
hits the wall.
They're
but
back
going
in
for another fight. No mana on Joa. Can't get the zap out.
Echo sitting top lane here. If Jax decided to get the shove going in here, we could possibly see a dive. The Echo's deciding against that. Very exciting game already.
Yeah.
This early on into it.
Yeah, both teams are just
Action-packed.
trying to get a lot of action in, trying to get that high octane play going. Echo looking for that gank top did set back his tempo a little bit in comparison to the Karthus, but in the end Echo does have more early pressure than the Karthus, so we'll have to see how he initiates with that.
We're already starting to see a small CS disparity in the mid lane, as well as bot lane and the jungle.
And first blood going to
first
Jax.
So that dive is extremely good for the for team fail support because Jax was able to create such a big wave pushing into that tower. Jarvan is at 9 CS to Jax's 23. He was going to collect that entire wave there and maybe come back up to about 15 to 17 CS, right? So he wouldn't have actually been that far behind, but because of that dive, it puts him so far behind in this game, and Jax is in a very good spot to carry.
Yeah, and they do have teleport advantage on the side of team fail support. So if they're looking to make a play around that bot lane, there's no way Sand can get down there before Misa. Oh, and Karthus coming down into the bot lane. The bubble does hit onto Joa, and he is taken down by Brent.
In the mid lane, just farming it out. Veigar looking to get his stacks. We've seen Veigar a couple times in this tournament, but I don't think it was... it hasn't been too successful just yet. Definitely got outscaled by the Orianna on the counter side of this, and mid lane's looking for a gank.
Yeah, just barely missing with that baby cage, but if that hit, that for sure would have been a dead Ezreal. Looking to just push up here, be quite disrespectful of the Echo return gank.
Nami looks like she's just pushing up to clear vision, but doesn't really have prio anywhere. Or, yeah, she doesn't really have prio anywhere to be in the river like that. Lucky she doesn't. There's no one around to contest her for that.
Yeah, if they collapsed on her, she would have been served up as sushi. So that was
engaging
pretty risky.
Just probably a little quick trade. I don't think anyone's in true danger of dying here. Just kind of beating each other.
Yeah, it's going to be more of those extended trades that Jax wants to take. Jarvan not too afraid of it with that cloth armor, not taking too much damage. But that sheen damage does stack up. And the flash coming in just gets away.
Flash from the Jax there. The Jarvan didn't pull anything, which was very good for him. Means he's going to be able to survive any dives that decide to come his way. Big CS difference in the mid lane to make up for that top lane differential. And Jarvan playing that very well with EQ combo, flag and drag. And looks like they're going to pick up one kill. They're looking for the second on the Jax. I would not be walking into that bush if I was that Karthus, but it works out for him, I guess.
Oh, misses the Q. The auto.
The auto attack from the Karthus. The disrespect.
The slowest auto in the game.
Karthus picking up 2 kills there. That is massive for Big Plane.
Yeah.
Team Big Plane.
Yeah, that was just disrespectful from fail support trying to dive top lane, not knowing where Karthus is. They were already so low.
That's just the problem with not doing your due diligence and warding behind before the dive goes.
Yeah, if they had the vision, they for sure could have just pressured Jarvan off, get a plate, and then back off. But due to their overzealousness, they ended up giving up 2 kills and giving up most of their lead in the top side.
Seems like Team Fail Support's looking for something around Dragon. Looking to invade the blue buff of Team Big Plane, but Karthus is able to secure that. That's really big for him considering he was so oom. And they're going to look to just transfer that to the Dragon. I want to see if Team Big Plane decide to contest this or just give it up. It's not that big of a problem if they do give it up. It's early on.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to contest.
Nami with a big bubble onto the Echo, meaning he can't jump on and be elusive.
Yeah, Nami is super low. Ezreal walking in. The Zap sneaks by and takes out Pretty Kitties.
And Ezreal forced to flash out a baby cage. And Dragon looks like it's just going to go over to Team Fail support.
Yeah, that early Infernal will definitely help with the Veigar and Jinx. But we'll have to see how it scales into the Soul.
This is a very even game that we've seen so far. Only a 400 gold differential. And that's just because mid lane's been farming so well, and like ADC's been able to get a good lead as well.
Yeah, they're just kind of playing for that CS lead, trying to ensure that their lanes don't fall too far behind. On the side of Team Fail Support, though, they have to start trying to make something happen.
Team Fail Support definitely needs to start making things happen. Top side is definitely where most of their gold is, considering Jax has a double CS lead, 30 CS lead by 8.5 minutes in the game. That's huge.
Yeah, he's definitely been zoning off the Jarvan, trying to take trades like that, forcing him to use the shield slow, so it makes it so he's more open and prone to ganks. But at this point, Karthus hovering around that top side.
Exactly. Jarvan's in no danger right now of dying. He still has his flash, and he's just kind of, he has to sit back and see what his team can do for him, because he's not gonna be able to do much for a while, especially because of that level 2.
Yeah, and Vigar is more than happy just to sit mid and start stacking up with his Q, try getting as much AP as he can.
Kind of looking like we have a spectator glitch with the Ezreal Qs, unfortunately. He just kind of pointing his finger at minions and saying, "You die."
Yeah, he's using Pulse Fire, but he's cosplaying TPA. And we had the same issue last game with Ocean Soul. The bushes over at the Dragon Pit, just outside the entrance and in the pit, weren't actually visible. But hopefully we don't have that issue persisting.
Well, let's just hope that we have a different Soul this game, because we've had a good variety so far.
Oh, even Ezreal ult was invisible. Okay, so
top lane trading a little bit. Lucian's looking to get a kill on the Jinx here, who overextended but blue flash to get out, and the ultimate coming out from Jinx, not enough to kill.
Yeah, that heal definitely saved him from that execute damage of the Super Mega Death Rocket.
Both AD carries using both summoners to stay alive in this fight. Nami going to be able to heal Lucian up to stay in lane longer, and Jinx is still going to lose a wave off this.
Yeah, Jinx does have the AD discrepancy, though. She does have that pickaxe to just a longsword and an extra Doran's Blade. But here we see a fight breaking out in the mid lane.
Echo ulting away. This looks like it's for Rift Herald, but it is just resetting. I think Echo definitely should have gone. Nope, never mind. He definitely is okay with just that, because Vigar is not dead.
And then that was pretty big. Blowing that Karthus ultimate for a barrier isn't the worst trade in the world.
You're going to have that barrier up probably by the next time Karthus ults up. It's a very long cooldown.
Yeah, Karthus ultimate, I believe, is about 3.5 minute cooldown. So barrier should be slightly shorter than that, I would say, just based off the rune choices.
And Karthus is probably just looking towards getting enough ultimate CDR here, just to get that back to where it needs to be, which is up. Still, honestly, mid lane difference on CS, that's gone down quite a bit. The CS gap on top lane is also closing just a bit, but is still very large. And the ADC CS difference has closed up quite a bit as well.
Yeah, here we see the tidal wave coming in, just misses, but the bubble does land. That is a dead Jinx.
Jinx just dying up real quick, and they should just dive this Nautilus in the easy second kill from Lucian.
Yeah, that is a big Lucian. He already has his slightly magical footwear, so looking to get that Essence Reaver into those Berserker Greaves.
For sure, and the Echo looking to clean up here. He has his ultimate, so he's definitely not in danger of dying. Exactly. I don't think he needed to use ultimate there, but I guess better safe than sorry. Top lane just farming it out. Next objective up is Rift Herald, and we haven't really seen teams go for those really early Rift Heralds to really make use of the destruction of tower plating. The one team we did see was actually Team Fail support, and, well, they didn't use it very well.
Yeah. Right now, we just need to see how is Team Fail support going to come back from this bot lane discrepancy.
We're only about 800 gold down, but definitely smaller than what we've seen in past games where they've just been complete blowouts, 15k, 10k, but need to shore up those weaknesses and get to those team fights, and then you have a better team fight as Team Fail support. So being behind 800 gold isn't the end of the world.
Yeah, no. That 800 can be easily achieved by coming back, but here we see Karthus being evaded on, blows his flash.
Forces blows flash off Nautilus hook, but however, Nautilus is down Aftershock, so he's not this invincible monster that we normally see. Jarvan TPing in, same with Jax, and the engage happens from Jarvan, 3-man ultimate, 4-man ultimate, and they're all baby caged around, and they're gonna kite back.
Yeah, that was a really good baby cage by the Vigar, but in the end, not really much you can do against the Cataclysm.
Cataclysm able to pick up 2 kills for Team Big Plane, and we'll see what they can do with that dragon. Dragon this game is the Mountain Dragon, which does create walls in the enemy jungle, but quickly Lucian is getting picked off by the Jackson, so is Nami, and they're both going to go down.
Yeah, that is a huge pickup there for the bot lane of Team Fail support.
Massive shutdown as well, evens out the gold entirely.
Yeah, we are only within like 400 gold difference now, but it is in the lead of Team Fail support, so they are starting to climb back.
Like we were saying before, Team Fail support definitely has the late game in terms of raw power. We'll see if Team Big Playing can macro their way back in, not back into this game, but macro their way to the win.
Yeah, they just have to scale it up. Jinx does outscale both Ezreal and Lucian, so if Jinx can get to that point, it'll be a huge change.
Karthus coming in here, make sure that the Jarvan stays alive, but I don't think Jax could have pushed too much farther in. Lucian looking for a trade onto the Jinx, but a little bit overzealous as he wastes his ultimate on nothing.
Yeah, man, sometimes you just need to call the air, you know, show who's boss.
Fair enough. And now they're looking to siege the bot lane tower here. Tower platings have, however, gone down. Not too many being taken this game by either team. I think the majority of them going down in the top lane here. And Jax is going to easily dive the Karthus top lane for a free kill. What is the Karthus doing? I guess he felt safe under tower.
Yeah, that was some false confidence there with that tower.
That is a Trinity Force Jax. You stay out of his way.
Yeah, and he has those tab eyes, so Ezreal and Lucian, as well as Jarvan, aren't really able to take care of him too easily.
Very good split pusher, and I wouldn't mind seeing them do a little bit of 1-4, because they have a strong team fight, but they have an even stronger split push right now.
Yeah, they don't exactly have a 1-3-1 composition, especially since Veigar doesn't have a teleport, so it would make it extremely hard for him to react to a map, cross-the-map play. But as you say, a 1-4 is exactly what they want to do with something like a Jax.
Especially because he has a 60 CS lead on this Jarvan, just absolutely decimating.
Yeah, I think this is the best performance we've seen out of Misa, other than his Ornn.
For sure, and we're looking at just a top lane tower being taken here. Nothing too major, but something to keep in mind. No objectives coming up in the near future here. We're just kind of waiting around. I'm not sure why Team Big Plane is walking up here, but the Nami is 100% going to go down, followed maybe by the Lucian as well.
Yeah,
Lucian is definitely going to go down, but he's going to try to trade a kill on the
barrier.
Veigar.
Comes in.
Veigar absolutely decimates, but he's going to die to the Kratos ultimate as he just uses barrier.
And Echo going in on the Ezreal here, going for a little bit of a trade, does get taken fairly low. And Karthus there trying to cut him off.
And Team Fail Sport just going to take that. Just going to take that tower bot lane. Not sure why Echo ulted back in. He could have gotten away, I believe.
He did have flash, so he could have flashed away. So that was kind of precarious there.
I think it was a little bit of a misplay, but that being said, Team Fail Sport still ahead, 2,000 gold now. The gap is getting bigger, and this Jax is absolutely massive. I'm pretty sure Ezreal is just dead here. Yep.
That Sheen proc off Trinity Force with the third proc of the Jax ultimate. Little too much damage for an 80 carry to handle.
This Jax is so big this game. And like you were saying, this is definitely Misami's best performance in the tournament so far. Absolutely crushing his laner. 60 CS lead still. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's telling his team, don't worry guys, get in the backpack, I've got you. But they still do have Herald on the Echo for the side of Team Fail support.
I wouldn't mind seeing that Herald go down top lane with the Jax, and just seeing if they can snowball even harder off of that.
Yeah, we will have to see where they decide to use this Herald. It could transition into something like this Dragon to get themselves one step closer to a soul.
It seems like Echo is looking to drop the Nash or the Rift Herald top lane, my bad, and just looking to bully this Jarvan off tower.
Yeah, if you can give a CS lead to your Jax, then might as well just transition that into pressure.
And
doesn't even get the Cataclysm off.
But it goes on cooldown.
Yeah, you gotta hate those abilities. You cast them, doesn't matter, you're dead, it's still on cooldown. But the Dragon, the Mountain Dragon coming in for your mom Big Plane.
Team Big Plane gonna be trading out Dragon for Inhib Tower. Jax is just so strong, it's so hard to contest. And the red team, wait. Team Big Plane's not even going to be able to get Dragon.
Yeah, Team Fail support actually keeping them off. Karthus flashing in.
Karthus flashing in. He is dead. He's going to get at least one kill. He might ultimate here. Oh, no, his ultimate is not up. Never mind.
No, it was too long past his passive start. But that is a takedown on Joa by Brett.
That is 2 quick kills for Team Big Plane, which should feel pretty good considering you just gave up your inhib, but you're able to trade back at least something, even if it's something small.
Yeah, even the slightest of advantages you will take.
Game has widened to a 2.8k gold lead for Team Fail support. And Dragon should be on their radar as well as Baron.
Yeah, Baron just about to spawn. We got another 5 seconds until that objective's on the map. This Mountain Dragon would be quite a big deal, especially for the Jax and Nautilus on Team Fail support side.
Any extra bonus resistances are always welcome, especially for a split pusher. It makes him so much harder to kill. Jax taking that red buff, he's so far ahead, he can do anything he wants right now.
Yeah, he also has that Sterax gauge, getting that flat base AD buff, as well as the shield. Nami getting caught out here by Quantic, though.
Lucian dashing over the wall. I think it's too late for him, however, and Nami is going down.
Nami. Lucian still just over the wall. Ezreal taken extremely low. Teleport coming in from Saiyan Trunks.
Karthus is just dead. Yeah, the fight's just going so badly for Team Big Plane, and they just get picked off, and Dragon goes. It's going to go over to Fail support.
Yeah, all they have left are their 80 carries. You can't really go straight into something like a Jax and a Vigar as 280 carries.
I believe that the way back into this game for Team Fails or for Team Big Plane would probably be through Karthus, but he needs to farm up so much more to be relevant, and those super minions are pounding on that Nexus door.
Yeah, they gave up that top inhibitor for practically nothing and still lost the dragon. So that was pretty questionable there.
Just got pushed off by the Echo, I believe. Or not the Echo, the Vigar Jinx. So strong in their own rights.
Yeah, Jinx now almost at her Runan's Hurricane Power Spike of 2 items. Once they finish that, they will be quite a menace in team fights. Lucian almost done that Infinity Edge, though.
The game is only a 4k advantage in favor of Team Fail support. And to think about it, Team Fail support has 1 less income line because they took that top lane inhibitor. So realistically, if it was to stall out even longer, Team Big Plane would have the advantage because they're in essence denying an income line from Team Fail support.
Yeah, the one thing we do need to take into account though is the 5-0 tower score right now. The fact that your mom Big Plane hasn't even taken a tower yet is quite detrimental because that doesn't open them up to any plays within the enemy's half of the map.
For sure, and I think the first step to start coming back and winning this game is definitely getting those outer tier towers and just opening up the map for yourself a little bit. It's so hard for this Jarvan to do anything. He's so far behind at this point, and I don't know if there's anything he can do.
Jax getting extremely low. Will he make it out? No, he will not. Super Mega Death Rocket comes in. Karthus was taken down on the side, though.
Trading 1 for 1, that's still very good for Team Big Plane.
And Echo getting a little overzealous there. They do get the tier 2 tower. It was a 2 for 1 with a tier 2. It's not the worst trade, but it's not the most favorable.
I definitely think that went in the favor of Team Big Plane just because that's the goal that they need to start working their way back in the game. A tier 2 tower isn't going to win or lose the game at this stage in the game, especially since they have an inhib.
Yeah, at this point, what your mom Big Plane needs to do is they need to at least get a pick and then force a fight. They cannot fight 5v5 because they don't have enough frontline. Jarvan only has a dead man's plate. He's nowhere near tanky enough to deal with anyone on the side of Team Fail support.
For sure. And like you were just saying, this Jarvan, he really should not be building these 2 longswords right now. It's so detrimental to his team. I don't know what he's trying to build. It's definitely not what he should be doing.
No, he's so far down. He's down by just under 50 CS, down by so much gold off those kills and assists that Misa has. There's no reason to go those longswords. He's not meant to be damaged. he should be building magic resist right now. That Vigar and Echo can easily just burst him down when he goes in.
I 100% agree, but I also think he probably should have gone Sunfire for the setup.
Yeah, he definitely needed some
Especially
wave
with
to help
that
himself wave clear.
Especially with that buff to the item itself. I think Bomby Cinder would have been an insanely good item for the Jarvan in this game. Regardless, Nautilus looking for a hook, doesn't find one. The Jax is still relentlessly pushing in, but the Echo is looking for a dive onto the Jarvan. The stun comes through, and I'm pretty sure he's just dead.
Yeah, he's a gone man.
There's nothing really he can do. He's down so many levels.
Jax tanking that tower, laughing the whole time, taking very minimal damage.
He's down so many levels. The inhib on the top side has come back up, so that income line isn't denied from Team Fail support anymore, but it wasn't like Team Big Plane was trying to pick that up to begin with. Nautilus is looking over the wall, like a very cheeky, like looking for an ultimate.
Yeah, right now we just need to see a clear vision line from your Mon Big Plane so they can try getting a catch. But Buddy walking up a little too far there towards Misa, taking quite a bit of damage.
Team Fail support looking for a Baron, or doing a Baron attempt. Nautilus is kind of looking on the sides just to make sure that they're not going to try to go for a steal, but they are going to call that off. They don't feel confident enough. And that being said,
Pretty Kitty taking down just by Anthony. No assist going over to anyone.
Echo
and there he goes, going on to Brett. Does get taken down before. He doesn't even have the ultimate, yet goes in that deep.
Slight mechanical misplay, I believe, from the Echo, considering he is so strong that I feel like he should just be using himself in... be much more careful about where he's positioning himself without ultimate.
Yeah, that was a little greedy there, but same here with Specialty. What was he thinking?
Karthus going in a little bit too hard there. They're looking to clean up the kill onto the Vigar. Vigar flashes away very clean, or not very clean, but he gets away.
Yeah, that was a good flash to get away from what would have been a certain death.
Jinx just picking up the red buff here. Jax should be looking to pressure the side lane here. First tier 1 tower goes down for Big Plane, opening up the map just slightly.
Brett forcing the barrier out of Shinkuken.
TP comes behind for Jax, and Jax is looking for a big play here.
The hook comes in from Nautilus. Down goes Brett. Going on to the Nami. The flash coming, gets the red buff. Leap strike, almost taking out. Red buff burn does take down Pretty Kitty.
I believe Team Fail support should either look for the Baron here or the Dragon. I'm down for the Baron just because they don't have, they're not Drake point yet, so...
Well, also, all the wave clear that we have from the side of your Mon Big Plane is ability damage, so the Baron would make it nearly impossible for them to shove waves out.
That is very true as well. And Jarvan just finally scouting out that the Baron is being done. Echo looking for the quick kill onto the Karthus, doesn't find it, ults back. And it's an easy secure because Karthus was so chunked out, and then they're just going to go take Dragon.
Yeah, Karthus living with no more than 100 HP, forced to run away, can't exactly contest, and now this could be the beginning of the end.
Honestly, I'm not too sure why Team Big Plane decided to contest that Baron when they could have just taken the Dragon. Yes, it's not anything special, it's just a Earth Dragon, but at least it's something instead of giving both and then almost losing a life over it as well. Like he burned his flash trying to get out of that Baron pit as well.
Yeah, so now Karthus is a lot more susceptible to being jumped on by the Echo and Jax, taken out, and then not even being a relative factor in the fights.
That is an interesting back animation, Lucian.
Yeah, it had to go full Van Damme.
I don't think I've actually ever seen that back animation. I don't think I want to see it again.
I don't think anyone does. And we're still having that visual bug with Ezreal. Kind of puts a damper on trying to see what he's doing, but
how badly he misses his cues. And I'm pretty sure Karthus is just dead here.
Caught out. Unsure.
Jax is just so massive at this point.
Yeah,
and the ultimate coming through.
Just a little bit of damage dealt there.
A lot of damage. He almost one-shot the Jinx. Look at that HP that we got. I'm pretty sure she was full, and so was the Vigar. So a lot of damage actually coming through from the Karthus there.
Yeah, Jinx does have a Phantom Dancer now, though, so not exactly in the the most risky position. Top inhibitor should fall here with Jax pushing with Baron, being a hybrid champion, doing quite a lot of damage.
Jax has a 3-level lead on Jarvan.
In comes the tidal wave and the culling. The bubble does hit Jinx.
Jax misses the counter strike, and Echo is going in.
Echo does have the recall.
And Super Mega Death Rocket coming in, but not able to finish off any kills.
They did, however, get that top inhibitor, so that is good. They are on soul point, so one more dragon, and they will get that mountain shield.
Team Fail Support should just look for this bot lane tower right now. Tier 2 should fall super easily if they just decide to commit to it, but they decide to reset and probably start pushing mid, I'd assume, mid or bot.
They might go for a 2-3 here, have like their bot lane sit mid and just push the waves in, while the other 3 go to that bottom lane and push in that tier 2.
That's a possibility. I don't think we'll see too much action unless Team Fail Support really wants it until the next dragon comes up. That will be, they're on Dragon Point, as well as I think next Baron will probably be game deciding if Team Fail Support gets it.
Yeah, at this point, Team Fail Support holds the keys to this game. If they just don't fumble and keep playing the way they are, they're going to keep expanding this lead to the point where your mom Big Plane doesn't really have a chance other than getting choked out in their base where they have to turtle.
That being said, Team Big Plane has managed to get a little bit of vision outside their base, which is very good for them. It means that, like, it just means that Team Fail Support has to take the time to re-clear the vision that they cleared earlier.
Yeah, here we see, though, Team Fail Support just constantly fighting for that vision control back. Yes, they have to clear some more out, but they already have such a huge lead that the defensive wards aren't really going to be able to do too much. And Jax pushing in that bot lane did take the tier 2. Does have help from his team. Jarvan forced to flash. Goes back in with the Cataclysm.
Jarvan's just going to fall pretty simply. The Karthus ultimate is coming down. It's forcing the Veigar to Zhonya's, and the Jinx gets very low off of it.
And nobody answering the Echo on the mid inhibitor. That is 2 inhibitors down now.
This game just seems to be falling apart with Echo jumping in from behind, Jax finishing off the Karthus.
And Jinx taken down.
Echo hits the tower.
Yeah, this should be a 3rd inhibitor, which could very well start the end of this game.
3rd inhib isn't going to go down. Team Fail Support's going to call it off, and it looks like they're just going to reset for Dragon possibly.
Yeah, Supers are crashing onto their Nexus tower, so they do have to respond to that, giving Team Fail Support a chance to fully reset and go towards that Dragon for the soul.
Jax has been an absolute terror this game.
Yeah, Jax has been absolutely monstrous, split pushing. Has almost 100 CS lead over Jarvan.
Jarvan hasn't been able to respond. No one actually has been able to respond to this Jax all game. He's had free reign. He's 4-item Jax at a 30-minute game.
Yeah, at this point, it's not going to be a pretty sight trying to fight him with that Titanic and Sterax combo, doing so much damage.
It's so unfortunate for Team Big Plane because they drafted such a squishy comp that requires you to have to kite and peel for yourself. But at the same time, Team Fail Support drafting such a sticky comp, they can just stick to the enemies as well as being so far ahead and having that Nautilus engage. It's so big.
Yeah, at this point, Team Fail Support just has to play at their own tempo. They can't really afford to make a mistake because one small mistake could start leading to a slight snowball coming back from your mom Big Plane.
Dragon Soul going down, another Mountain Soul for the day. Mountain Soul gives a shield, which makes you a little bit tankier, but it also gives, I believe it's 8%. Is it 6% or 8%?
I think it's 8%.
It's 8% resistance for each dragon they take, so that's a total of like 24% bonus resistances that they're going to get, making their tanks 24% tankier, and their ADCs 24% tankier, as long as getting that shield.
Yeah, it's a big differential, especially if you look at something like a Jax that already has a Randuin's.
That's a pretty big buff.
And Jax just split punching here to get that 3rd inhibitor. 2 have to answer to him. because Jarvan cannot handle him solo.
Baron going down for Team Fail support. I'm not too sure how Team Big Plane is going to come back into this one at this point. At this point, I think they might need a miracle.
Yeah, at this point, they have to pray to Senpai Faker and hope that something happens.
It would be so... The comeback on this game would be insane if Team Big Plan are able to pull it off. The cards are so heavily stacked against them. 8,000 gold down.
Yeah, at this point, they just have to hope that they can turtle long enough, even against this Baron buff, and try getting the gold they need onto their Ezreal and Lucian, maybe even their Karthus, to try and be able to one-shot at least somebody.
For sure. And I really don't think this Jarvan pick was the pick for them this game.
No, they definitely should have went with something a little more versatile. Like something that is actually a front line. Yes, Jarvan is engaged, but if you needed engage, you could have easily drafted that into the support role or the jungle. You should have played more of a tank frontline top. Because you have that double AD carry, you need something to frontline. Ezreal caught out by the baby cage, taken down, and this could be the start of the end.
And this is looking like the end of the game. Team Fail support. They lost to Team Big Plane the first game, and it seems like they've just kind of come back to haunt them.
Yeah, it's a complete sweep. Like, it's a complete reversal of the last game.
Like, that is 100% true. Team Fail support playing extremely well after their first loss to Team Big Plane, and really coming back to bring them to the finals.
Yes, indeed. They started without any clear goal, drafting that Olaf with nothing to follow. But now that they have a clear win condition and go with actual comps, they can clearly show that they are the more skilled team in that situation.